Chosen ones. Most people think life is about waiting for the right moment, the right sign, the perfect confirmation that they should move. But that's why most people never get anywhere. They stand at the starting line, looking around, waiting for someone to tell them it's time to go, and by the time they realize they were supposed to start running, the race is already over. That's why they stay stuck. That's why they watch instead of participate. That's why they look at people like you and wonder, how did they get so far ahead? They don't understand that the moment already came and went, and they missed it because they were too afraid to move. You didn't wait, that's the difference. You didn't sit there asking for permission, checking for guarantees, or waiting for someone to validate your decision. You moved. You understood what most people never will. Life is not about knowing everything before you start. It's about trusting yourself enough to take the step, even when you don't have all the answers. Most people never reach their potential because they want certainty before they act. They want a perfect, risk-free, foolproof plan before they do anything. But the truth? That moment never comes. Perfection is an illusion. Waiting for it is the same as choosing to do nothing. Every opportunity in life comes with a time limit. It doesn't wait. It doesn't check if you're ready. It doesn't care if you're scared. It just is. And when the moment arrives, you either take it or you don't. That's why you passed. Because when that moment showed up, you didn't hesitate. You didn't stop to weigh every possible outcome. You moved forward while others stood still, and now they're looking around wondering why they're still in the same place. The answer is simple. They waited. You didn't. People love to believe that life will always give them another shot, that if they miss their chance, it's fine, because another one will come along eventually. But that's not how this works. Sometimes, the door opens once, and if you don't step through, it closes forever. You don't get a warning, you don't get a countdown, you don't get a second chance, and by the time most people realize what happened, it's too late. They missed it, and now they have to sit with that regret, knowing they could have moved, but didn't. The ones who get ahead, the ones who separate from the rest, the ones who rise above, they don't ask, "What if I fail?" They ask, "What if I don't try?" They understand that risk is part of the process, that failure isn't the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing is staying in the same place forever because you were too afraid to take a step. That's the real failure. That's the real regret. Because once you've missed your shot, once you've watched someone else take the opportunity you let slip by, you can't go back. You can only live with the knowledge that you hesitated when you shouldn't have. You passed because you didn't let fear paralyze you. You passed because you didn't overthink yourself into inaction. You passed because when the moment came, you were ready. Not in the sense that you had everything figured out, but in the sense that you trusted yourself enough to go for it anyway. That's what people don't understand. They think readiness means having all the answers. It doesn't. Readiness means being willing to start even when you don't. Most people have opportunities sitting right in front of them, but they talk themselves out of it. They find reasons why it's not the right time, why they're not good enough yet, why they should wait just a little longer. And in that waiting, they lose everything. They let the moment slip through their fingers, and the worst part is, they don't even realize it. They convince themselves that nothing was lost, that the opportunity wasn't really meant for them, that it will come back later, but it won't. Because someone else already took it. Someone else, like you, already made the move. That's why you're ahead. That's why you're here. That's why you passed. Because when life put something in front of you, you grabbed it. You didn't let fear stop you. You didn't let doubt win. You didn't let the opinions of other people hold you back. You didn't need someone to tell you it was okay. You decided for yourself. And that is what makes the difference between people who spend their lives watching and people who spend their lives doing. This isn't about luck. It's never been about luck. People love to believe that success happens by chance because it makes them feel better about why they don't have it. But luck didn't get you here. Action did. Decision did. Speed did. And those things were always in your control. Most people don't want to hear this. They want to believe that they're just waiting for the right moment, that someday everything will align perfectly, and then they'll make their move. But that's a lie. That moment will never come. The only thing that matters is whether you take action before you feel ready, whether you move when others hesitate, whether you trust yourself enough to bet on yourself. You did that. That's why you passed. That's why you're no longer in the same category as them. That's why the gap between you and the rest of the world keeps growing. Because while they were still thinking about it, you were already in motion. And now they have to watch. Now they have to wonder how you got so far ahead. Now they have to deal with the reality that they had the same moment you did, the same chance, the same opportunity, but they let it slip through their fingers. You didn't. And that's the only reason that matters. Most people live their entire lives inside a box they didn't even build. They follow rules they never questioned, accept limitations they never tested, and believe stories about themselves that were handed to them by people who never even made it. That's why they stay where they are. That's why they don't pass. That's why they look at people like you and feel confused, jealous, or even angry. They don't understand how you broke out. They don't understand how you got ahead while they're still stuck in the same cycle. But the truth, it was never about talent, intelligence, or resources. It was about how you think, how you move, how you see the world. Most people think success is about doing what everyone else is doing, just a little better, that if they work a little harder, put in a little more effort, and follow the same steps as everyone else, they'll eventually win. But that's not how it works. The ones who truly pass, the ones who enter the 1%, don't just work harder, they think differently. They don't follow the script. They don't play by the rules set by people who never won. They question everything. They move in ways that don't make sense to the average person. And because of that, they get results that most people will never achieve. The biggest difference between the 1% and the rest isn't skill. It's not intelligence. It's not even experience. It's speed. It's the ability to see an opportunity and act on it before anyone else even recognizes it. It's the willingness to take risks when everyone else is still debating whether it's safe. It's the understanding that failure is part of the process, not something to be feared. The 1% don't hesitate. They don't wait for approval. They don't need reassurance. They trust themselves enough to move first, and that's why they always stay ahead. The rest of the world plays the game of waiting. They wait for someone to tell them it's okay to take a chance. They wait for the perfect moment that never comes. They wait until they feel 100% ready, which means they never start. And then, when they see someone else making moves, they convince themselves that the person had some unfair advantage, that it was easier for them, that they got lucky. They'll tell themselves any story they need to so they don't have to face the truth, that they had the same opportunities but didn't take them. People in the 1% don't think like that. They know that waiting is the fastest way to lose. They know that there's no such thing as a perfect time. They know that success isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting yourself to figure it out as you go. That's why they keep winning. That's why they pass every test life throws at them. Because when others stop to analyze, hesitate, or second guess, they're already in motion. Most people fear failure so much that they never actually try. They think playing it safe will protect them. But what they don't realize is that the biggest risk is doing nothing. The biggest failure is staying in the same place for years, watching other people live the life they wanted. The biggest mistake is believing that they have time to waste. The 1% don't live like that. They don't wait until they're old to start regretting. They don't play small just to stay comfortable. They take action now, even when it's uncertain, even when it's uncomfortable, because they understand that success belongs to those who move first. Most people are trapped in a mindset that tells them they need permission to succeed. They're waiting for someone to validate them, to confirm that they're on the right path, to tell them they're good enough. But the 1% don't ask for permission. They don't need validation. They don't care if people understand them or not. They move with confidence Not because they always know what they're doing, but because they trust themselves enough to figure it out. The average person is obsessed with what other people think. They hold themselves back because they're afraid of looking stupid. They don't take risks because they don't want to fail publicly. They play small because they don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. But the 1%, they don't care. They know that people will judge them no matter what. They know that the same people who criticize them today will be the ones asking for advice tomorrow. They know that success isn't about making everyone else comfortable. It's about making the moves that get results. That's why the gap keeps growing. That's why the difference between those who pass and those who don't gets bigger every year. Because while the rest of the world is still debating, still hesitating, still playing it safe, the 1% are executing. They're trying, failing, learning, and adapting. They're taking risks while everyone else is making excuses. And because of that, they keep winning. Most people don't even realize they're trapped. They follow the same script as everyone else. Go to school, get a safe job, save a little money, retire someday, hope for the best. They do what they're told because that's what they've been conditioned to do. They never stop to ask if the people giving them advice are actually successful themselves. They never question whether the system they're following was designed to keep them winning or to keep them average. The 1% ask those questions. They don't blindly follow. They look around, analyze, and make their own path. That's why they get different results. The world rewards those who take control of their own destiny. The ones who don't wait for opportunities, but create them. The ones who don't let fear dictate their decisions. The ones who move first, fail fast, and keep going while everyone else is still thinking about what to do. The 1% aren't special. They just refuse to live by the same rules as everyone else. People love to believe in luck because it gives them an excuse to stay the same. They tell themselves that successful people had better circumstances, more resources, or a special advantage. But the real difference isn't luck, it's mindset, it's action. It's the willingness to think differently, move differently, and make decisions that most people would never make. That's why only a few pass. That's why only a few make it to the top. That's why only a few ever reach the level where the rest of the world has to watch them from a distance. The truth is, most people will never understand what just happened. They'll never understand why some people break free while others stay stuck. They'll never understand why the gap between them and the top keeps growing. But the ones who pass, the ones who enter the 1%, they know exactly why. Because they made choices that others were too afraid to make. Because they thought in ways that others refused to think. Because they moved when others hesitated. And now, there's no going back. A lot of people think that once they've passed, once they've achieved something big, they can slow down. They start to relax, start to feel like they've made it, start to believe that they've already done enough. That's why they fall off. That's why they fade away. That's why they lose everything they worked so hard for. Because the moment they take their foot off the gas, someone else who's hungrier, faster, and more relentless is ready to take their spot. Winning once isn't the goal. Staying on top is. And that's where most people fail. They think that passing is the finish line, when in reality, it's just the beginning of a new level. Every level in life comes with bigger expectations, bigger challenges, and bigger competition. The people who stay ahead are the ones who never let themselves get comfortable. They don't celebrate for too long. They don't sit around reminiscing about how far they've come. They use that momentum to push even harder, to move even faster, to separate even further from the pack. Most people don't understand this. They spend years trying to break through, but the second they taste a little success, they slow down. They start doing the bare minimum. They start protecting what they have instead of chasing something bigger. And before they even realize it, they've lost their edge. They've become like everyone else. Comfortable, predictable, and easy to pass. That's why so many people fall off. That's why most never stay at the top. They think success is about getting there, when in reality, success is about staying ahead. The real ones know that passing is just the first test. Now the real work begins. Now the pressure is on. Now every move matters more than ever. Because at this level, it's not about getting lucky. It's about proving every single day that you belong here. The difference between those who stay and those who disappear is simple. The ones who stay are the ones who refuse to slow down. There's a reason why only a few people ever truly dominate for a long time. It's because most people can't handle the discipline, the intensity, the pressure that comes with staying at the top. They think the grind ends when they win, but the truth is, the grind never ends. The people who stay winning are the ones who love the process more than the result. They don't stop just because they passed. They don't start relaxing just because they proved themselves once. They understand that every single day is another test, and they're ready to pass it again and again and again. Most people never make it far because they're obsessed with the idea of arrival. They think once they hit a certain milestone, once they cross a certain threshold, everything will get easier. They believe in the fantasy of stability, where they can finally relax and enjoy the rewards of their hard work. But that's a lie. The second you slow down, you start falling behind. The second you stop improving, you start declining. The second you think you've done enough, you've already lost. That's why the best never stop. They understand that success is never owned, only rented. And the rent is due every single day. They know that every day someone else is working just as hard. Someone else is trying to pass them. Someone else is coming for their spot. That's what keeps them sharp. That's what keeps them dangerous. That's what keeps them winning long after everyone else has burned out or fallen off. Most people can't handle that kind of pressure. They don't want to hear that success is an everyday battle. They want to believe that once they've made it, they can finally take it easy. But that's the exact mindset that leads to losing. The people who stay ahead, who keep passing every level they reach, know that the work never stops. They embrace the pressure. They thrive on the challenge. They know that the real reward isn't the achievement, it's the ability to keep achieving. The truth is, passing once isn't enough. If you want to stay ahead, if you want to keep winning, you have to be relentless. You have to want it just as bad every single day as you did on day one. You have to keep moving, keep growing, keep pushing, no matter how much you've already accomplished. The second you start thinking you've done enough, the second you start feeling satisfied, that's the second someone else passes you. This is where most people fail. They think that reaching a certain level means they've earned the right to relax. But the ones who keep passing, the ones who keep winning, don't think like that. They don't measure themselves by what they've already done. They measure themselves by what they're doing right now. They understand that momentum is either working for them or against them, and the only way to keep it on their side is to keep moving forward. That's the real test. Not just whether you can pass once, but whether you can keep passing. Whether you can stay ahead when everyone else is catching up. Whether you can keep pushing when most people would be celebrating. Whether you can keep that hunger alive even after you've won. Most people don't realize how quickly things can change. They think that once they've passed, they're set for life. They think that once they've won, they'll always be winning. But that's not how it works. The world doesn't care what you did yesterday. The world only cares about what you're doing today. The second you stop proving yourself, the second you stop growing, the second you stop moving forward, you start losing ground. That's why the best never stop. They don't get comfortable. They don't get complacent. They don't ever assume they've arrived. They understand that the real challenge isn't getting ahead, it's staying ahead. And the only way to do that is to keep the same energy, the same focus, the same drive, even when it feels like they've already made it. This is why most people don't last. They get a taste of success and think they can afford to slow down. They start making excuses. They start playing it safe. They start looking backward instead of forward. And before they even realize it, they've fallen behind. That's the difference between the ones who pass once and the ones who keep passing for life. There's no such thing as arriving. There's no point where you can just stop pushing and expect to stay on top. The moment you let up, the moment you stop proving yourself, the moment you start thinking you're safe, you've already lost. The real ones never let that happen. The real ones keep moving like they haven't won anything yet. The real ones know that staying ahead is a daily commitment, and they show up for it every single time. Most people think they have time. They move slow because they believe the opportunity will still be there tomorrow. They hesitate because they think they'll always have another shot. They waste days, weeks, years, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect plan. And then, before they know it, the window closes. The opportunity is gone. Someone else took it. And they're left wondering what happened, asking themselves why they didn't move when they had the chance. That's the difference between the ones who pass and the ones who get left behind. The ones who pass understand that time is the biggest asset they have, and they refuse to waste it. Speed matters more than anything. It's not about being the smartest. It's not about being the most talented. It's about moving faster than everyone else. It's about seeing an opportunity and jumping on it before the rest of the world even realizes what's happening. The ones who pass don't sit around debating whether they should go for it. They don't wait for someone to tell them it's okay. They don't waste time overthinking, doubting, hesitating. They move. They take action. They figure it out as they go. And because of that, they keep winning while everyone else is still stuck in their head. Hesitation is the killer of success. The second you hesitate, you give someone else the chance to take what could have been yours. The second you wait for certainty, you lose momentum. The second you start overanalyzing, you miss the moment. The world doesn't reward people who move slowly. The world doesn't wait for the ones who need everything to be perfect before they start. The world belongs to the ones who move first, who act before they're ready, who trust themselves enough to take the risk and figure it out later. Most people waste years waiting. Waiting for confidence, waiting for clarity, waiting for someone to tell them they're good enough. But the ones who pass understand that waiting is just another word for losing. They know that the only way to build confidence is through action. The only way to create clarity is by moving forward. The only way to prove they're ready is by doing the thing they're afraid of. That's why they get ahead. That's why they keep passing every level. Because they don't waste time waiting. They create their own momentum. People who move slow love to tell themselves stories about why they can't start yet. They tell themselves they need more information. They tell themselves they need to prepare more. They tell themselves that they're just being responsible by waiting for the right time. But deep down, it's fear. Deep down, they're afraid to fail. They're afraid to make a mistake. They're afraid to take a step forward and realize they still have more to learn, so they stay in their comfort zone, convincing themselves they're being smart, while the people who actually pass are out there making moves, failing fast, learning even faster, and getting ahead. The biggest mistake most people make is thinking they have more time than they actually do. They underestimate how fast things change. They underestimate how quickly an opportunity can disappear. They assume that just because something is here today, it will still be here tomorrow. And then they wake up one day and realize they missed their shot. They see someone else winning with the idea they had years ago. They see someone else living the life they wanted, all because they hesitated when they should have moved. That's the reality. That's what separates the ones who pass from the ones who don't. There's no such thing as the perfect time. There's no such thing as being 100% ready. If you wait for everything to feel safe and certain, you'll never start. The people who pass understand that the perfect time is always now. They understand that readiness comes from action, not from waiting. They understand that the longer they hesitate, the more they risk losing. That's why they win. That's why they keep passing while others stay stuck in the same place for years. The ones who pass don't have more resources, more advantages, or better luck. They just have a different relationship with time. They understand that every second they hesitate is a second they'll never get back. They understand that opportunities don't last forever. They understand that the world moves fast, and if they don't move faster, they'll be left behind. That's why they don't waste time. That's why they take action even when it feels uncomfortable. That's why they keep passing every test life throws at them. Most people don't even realize how much time they waste. They think they're being productive. but they're really just avoiding the work that actually matters. They convince themselves they're making progress, but they're really just procrastinating in disguise. The ones who pass see through that illusion. They know the difference between movement and progress. They know the difference between planning and executing. They know that the only thing that actually matters is action. And because of that, they keep winning. The truth is, hesitation and fear will never fully go away. The difference between the ones who pass and the ones who don't isn't that they don't feel fear. It's that they don't let fear control them. They don't let doubt slow them down. They don't let uncertainty keep them stuck. They move anyway. They take the risk. They bet on themselves. And because of that, they keep passing, while everyone else is still overthinking. Time is either working for you or against you. Every second you spend hesitating is a second you could have spent getting ahead. Every day you spend waiting is a day you could have spent building something real. The ones who pass understand that every moment matters. They don't waste time. They don't wait for guarantees. They don't sit around hoping things will magically happen for them. They take control. They make moves. They create their own momentum. And because of that, they stay ahead. Most people never reach their full potential because they spend too much time thinking and not enough time doing. They have great ideas but never act on them. They have big dreams but never take the first step. They wait, hesitate, and overanalyze until the opportunity is gone. The ones who pass refuse to live like that. They don't let fear slow them down. They don't let doubt hold them back. They understand that the only way to win is to move fast, take risks, and keep pushing forward no matter what. That's the real secret. It's not about talent. It's not about intelligence. It's about speed. It's about execution. It's about moving before everyone else. It's about taking action even when it's uncomfortable. The ones who pass know this. That's why they keep winning. That's why they keep getting ahead. That's why they stay in the 1% while everyone else is still waiting for the right time.